I am Kevin Funk, and this is my wife, Bethany. I started SEA in grade 7, so I was there for 6 years, and I graduated in 2005.
Hi, my name is Janelle Brown, and this is Dustin, my husband. I attended SEA for 13 years, and I graduated in 2001. After high school, I went to Master's Commission for 2 years. After I went to Red River College, went through university to do Bachelor of Commerce. Throughout university, I worked for Enterprise Rent-A-Car, and then moved to Calgary when we were dating and went to work for TD Bank. And now today we run carpentry business and we have a number of employees, and it's very successful.
We run a construction crew. We have anywhere from 5 to 20 employees, depending on what season it is, and we do all sorts of building, from apartments to shops to barns, houses. We've gone through some hard times in business, and the strength and the peace that you can have going through a situation is incredible, and only through a foundation that was created, and a big part would have been SCA.
As I look back at school, all the different things that we did, going through throwing speeches to sermonettes, being a part of sports teams on student council, they all helped prepare me for my future and what was to come. Every position I had, I rose to the top, and I was successful at everything I did. But I couldn't have done it without God.
You do Bible class every morning. So 5 days a week you get Bible class. You get chapel in there. You're being taught all the time. Just principles from the Bible, and those are all things that stuck with me.
Every day the kids are instilled with pursuing Christ, pursuing excellence, and how that spills over into their adult years, because I can see that spilling over into Kevin's adult years.
In the construction world, there's a lot of rough construction guys out there. We have broken families like crazy, convicts that come. So when you have a foundation built around Christ, a solid foundation is not shakeable. It just doesn't. And that's when you can be a light to all these other people that need to be shown a light, so that they can turn from what they're doing to hopefully come and give their lives to Christ.
You don't realize how important school is until you have kids. And it's amazing to see your kids loving the school that you went to. The great thing about Springs being in multiple locations is that if we ever do decide to move back to Calgary, we know the church is there, and SCA will be there one day too.
I want to see my kids have the good kind of problems, where their characters being confronted with opportunities to grow and become more like Jesus.
Our oldest always comes home with the funniest questions. She thinks through everything, processes everything. Easter last year, and there's a video about bunnies in the fields and their experience when Jesus died. And she took that and processed it and thought, how did God feel to see his son die?
Those are the kinds of problems I want to have, is how do I answer this really big question that they have, that they heard from something they learned at school?
We have 4 kids, and just been thinking about how our kids are essentially like a boxer or a UFC fighter, where they're in their ring, the boxing ring or the octagon, and they're going out to fight the good fight. And we're training them to go and do life. For those moments that we're not there, there's more people that come in and they start to train, so that we have a full circle of people surrounding our kids. When you see kids going to a public school and the doctrines that these teachers are pushing at them, that's not what we want. We want our kids to be growing and getting that firm foundation so that they can't be shaken.
My mom's got a job at Springs Christian Academy when I was in grade 3. You think you don't want your parents around at school. You fear being sent to the principal's office because you have to walk past my mom's desk to get to the principal's office. But having her there from when I started in grade 3 till a number of years ago, she worked at the school. It was her pride and joy. She loved every part of Springs Christian Academy. And she passed away. It's over a year ago. And I know that she would have been so happy to be at that groundbreaking. That would have been one of the best days for her to see that. Giving to something that's going to be bigger than us. You know, people before us laid down finances. So we started a small school at St. Mary's, behind the St. Mary's building. And then we moved to Uville, you know, and that took finances, right, to get that building. To build 595, you know, took families to believe in it, to give their finances. It wasn't even a question whether we give or not, is how much.
We're part of things that your grandparents laid their finances down long before our kids ever came along.
Yeah.
And so we know that by giving, that we're now doing the same thing for our kids and our kids' kids and their kids. We're setting them up for a lifetime of success.
To me, the biggest thing is to create disciples. And what better place to start than when they are children? Yeah. Seeing our kids in SCA and seeing them excel in every area, including their relationship with God and Holy Spirit. I want to be able to help as many families do the same.
I've been part of every campaign within Springs. Whenever they need to raise money for something, it's like, what can I do? And now to do that as a couple.
These are the sorts of things that bring us together. Having a purpose, having a clear vision to work towards, something to support and build. And we know how to build things.
Yes.
That we know how to do. And this is something that we want to build.
We encourage you to start giving towards your commitment today. Even if you haven't made a commitment, it's not too late to get involved. To give to the campaign, indicate Build the Future on any of our giving platforms. Thank you for your generosity.